If you didn't get a copy of We Will Rock You at school, you're going to need to print one off or at least download it. You have two choices. There is the regular note version that has no little letters inside, and then there's the Alpha Note version. So look for the folder that says Alphabet Notes or regular, and you can decide which one is right for you. We're going to work on We Will Rock You, and we're going to start with the stomp, stomp, clap part of the music. You can see up here we have little X's, and the two X's that are closer to the bottom are the stomp part, and then the X that is a little higher up is the clap part. If we're a violin or viola, we're going to have to set our bow on the ledge of the music stand, so I really hope you have a music stand. And then put your instrument in cello or bass position so that we can use our arms to keep the instrument safe when we stomp and clap. So you see the instrument does move a little bit with the stomps. So this just will help keep it safe. Now if you're a cello, you get to use regular cello position, same for bass, and your arms again protect that instrument from falling over. So having a music stand and using that music stand is really important here. So if you look at the first line of We Will Rock You, you'll see a lot of it is a stomp, stomp, clap. But if you look at the fourth measure, it's only stomps. And during those stomps, I pick up my bow and I get my instrument ready so that I can transition to the E's with my bow. So here we go. Again, I'm setting my bow down and getting my instrument safely positioned for our stomps and claps. 3 and 4 and stomp, stomp, clap. Second measure. Third measure. Now just the stomps. 1, rest, 3, set the E, rest and, rest and. So that was how to transition from the stomps and claps to the bow. Look at measure 7. It's the second line, second measure. This is going to be nice, long, smooth bows. I'll demonstrate it for you. So I want you to think of using almost the entire bow. I want you to try to keep your bow about 1/2 inch away from the bridge. If I'm a cello or bass, maybe 1 inch, or bass 1.5 inches away from the bridge to get best possible sound. Rest and long smooth bow again. So you're thinking about the notes, you're thinking about the location of the bow. Next, we're going to try this together. So let's play the second line. Set yourself up. As I'm counting the 1, 2, 3, 4, I want you to start feeling that beat. You could do an ab crunch, you could tap your foot. Set your bow on the string. 1, 2, 3, and second line. Rest and long smooth bow. Rest and long smooth bow. Rest and rest and. During the rest, I just stop my bow on the string, not lifting it off, because then I don't have to worry about setting it back down and have it being kind of bouncy. We're going to do the second line again. Set up that bow. Think about those bow fingers and how close that bow is to that bridge. 3 and 4 and. Rest and. G, long and smooth. Rest and. G, smooth bow. Now that we're working on the third line of We Will Rock You, what I want your eyes to really notice is when the note is repeated and when it changes, and how many times in a row you play the same note. So in that second measure, I've circled the set of 3 E's, and then I've helped myself by writing A and G because I'm using the non-alphabet note song. Now I'm actually playing off cello and bass music here, so violin, violas, yours is going to look different. And then here I circled, whoops, I should have circled these 2 E's. I circled the wrong set. And then I wrote B and A. So if you're struggling in this area when we try to play it, you may want to write the same things that I just did. I'm going to demonstrate the first 2 measures of the third line so you can hear the rhythm. And I want your ears and your eyes to try to notice where the long notes are in each of the measures. So here we are at the beginning of the third line. 3 and 4 and. Long. Long. Now let's try that together. We're at the beginning of the third line of A. Set up your D, land the E, check your instrument thumb to make sure it's in the right place. If you're a cello and a bass, just make sure it's horizontal. Here we are at letter A. 3 and 4 and. Up to A. The next set of measures starts on a push bow, so it will feel backwards, and it also goes up to a B. I'll demonstrate. So I'm starting with a push bow. So I have to put my bow out more towards the tip. 3 and 4 and. Only 2 E's. B. Let's try putting the third and the fourth measure together. This is in the third line. Remember, we start with a push bow, so you have to set your bow at least at the halfway point, if not out a little further, and you're going to push. 3 and 4 and. 2 E's up to B. One more time. Remember, push bow, we're starting on the third measure of the third line. 3 and 4 and. Now we're going to put the entire third line together. Try to look at groups of notes with your eyes, maybe sets of 3 notes in the first measure, and then sets of 4 notes that are all connected together in the second measure. So here we are at A, which is also the third line. 3 and 4 and. Now long bow